Awesome day to you, awesome people, and welcome to another week of What's Your Story, where we share, empower, heal, and inspire. My name is Shenrika. I am the Global Empowerment Connector. Thank you for joining us today. Whether you're catching this on Facebook or YouTube, be sure to hit the like button, share button. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We talk to people from all over the world. We have viewers from all over the world, so you never know who you may be able to connect with. But be sure to show some love to the Say Something TV, Facebook, and YouTube pages, and also show some love to my guest Facebook and YouTube page. I'm sorry, Instagram page also. And tap into the great things that she's doing. But What's Your Story is brought to you every Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So again, thank you for joining us, whether you're catching it live or replay. Thank you. Nonetheless, but What's Your Story is brought to you by Kids Love Money. They just don't understand it. It's an interactive workbook series that teaches children financial literacy, one concept at a time. So check those resources out at www.kidslovemoney.shop. Also, sponsoring What's Your Story is Say Something, which is the store for the Say Something TV page. Check out the exclusive merchandise there, the Wugoji brand, which is an acronym for Get Up, Get Out, and Get It. So that's available at www.saysomething.company.site. And last but not least, every morning you're drinking a cup of something, or maybe you drink coffee throughout the day or tea throughout the day. However, get you a motivational mug to go along with that drink. Motivation helps. But anyway, check out those mugs, and you can also get custom mugs made at www.sipsomething.company.site. And again, thank you all for joining us. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Be sure to show some love to the pages, all of that great stuff. But thank you so much for joining us. Another awesome guest. And but before I bring on my awesome guest, hold tight. We'll be right back with you. Welcome back, awesome people, and thank you again for joining us, whether you're just tuning in or you've been watching from the beginning. Thank you for watching What's Your Story, where we share, empower, heal, and inspire. Thank you for tapping in to get this midweek awesomeness. But let me bring on my awesome guest. My first experience with her was on Instagram, and she was dancing, and as a form of exercise, and she was so I don't know, it was happy, it was like a joyful to watch. I don't even know how to explain it, because you see people working out normally, a certain way, but she was just happy, and she was smiling, and she was dancing, and she was encouraging people that was watching her, and I just found that to her heart to be so pure, and she was just so positive. I was drawn to her, as I'm quite sure a lot of people who know her are, and even those who will see her in the future, I'm sure will be as well. But she's a podcaster. She's an advocate for cystic fibrosis. She's a brand ambassador. She's a mommy. She is Fizzy Marie. So let me bring on this beautiful queen. Awesome day to you, beautiful.
So
How are you?
I'm doing awesome. I'm so happy. I'm just very honored to be on your show.
Oh, thank you. It is definitely an honor for me to have you on here. I'm like, yes, I got to get her on the show because I don't
Yes.
know, it's like a ray of sunshine. But I enjoyed, the experience, and I followed you ever since. Um, but just kind of give you a little background on what the story basically is. Just there was an old saying or greeting at once upon a time that was what's your story, and the gist of it was for the person to tell enough about themselves to intrigue the person further, basically.
Right.
So that's kind of what we do on What's Your Story. We tell
Love
the
it.
people, about who we are, what we do, things of that nature, just to get them a bit to intrigue them to be like, okay, yeah, that's something I've been needing in my life, because a lot of times people don't know they need, you know, like your positivity, your energy, it was what I needed when I saw it, and you know, I'm very appreciative of it, and you're still this positive, person. You're still the same person, you know. I think this was like a year or so ago when I first began following you, but people get to see what sometimes they don't know what they need. So,
Wow.
this is why I do what I do. But I guess we'll do, because you're usually the person on the other end asking the question. So I guess I'll ask questions. Today we're just kind of who is Fizzy? Who is Fizzy Marie?
Yes. Well, again, I want to thank you so much for inviting me on. I'm so touched by what you told me. Like, a lot of times,
You're coming in now.
okay,
Yes,
I'm so sorry about that. Are you going to be
that's
able to
fine.
edit that out?
No, but it's
Oh,
fine. This is we wrote it, but it's
okay.
good.
Okay. And I cannot see myself, but okay, there we go. Yeah, sorry about that. So, but a lot of times when I would post things, it's crazy because I would a lot of times just post things for myself because I felt like I needed like the pick me up,
Mhm.
and just to know that I was able to inspire, um, you know, other people and you, because you were so inspirational to me. It's just crazy. But so as Fizzy, the name came my nickname in high school, which I graduated high school a long time ago. Was
All right.
it was during like when Snoop Dogg was real big, so everybody was like, "Oh, like for shizzle," like,
Yes.
and like so. Fizzle was actually like my little nickname, and then like when Snoop Dogg became, I guess, like less known, less cool,
Hmm.
um, or trendy or whatever, then I just shortened it to Fizzy. But that's where the name came from. But as far as my brand and what I do with my page, I had always kind of documented my fitness journey on Instagram, which I think is so interesting that you found my page through like a fitness video, like me
Hmm.
working out. And so I kind of started off doing that, just posting and documenting my journey. But in the beginning of the pandemic, I felt like I just needed a way to connect with people
Hmm.
on like just a continual, level, because we lost that.
Right.
And just I kind of started doing what you do, in a sense of just like finding people with stories. And I asked a friend I actually went to high school with,
Hmm.
I'm like, I would love to have you. He has a YouTube channel and he does like dance fitness on his YouTube. And I said, I would love to have you on my show, just kind of like interviewing you, like kind of like, listen, sharing the world with, what you do and like what
Yes.
you do it. And he agreed to it, and so we just went live on Instagram. I had zero idea what I was doing,
Mm-hmm.
and people liked it, and people started, they were commenting. You know how it goes. It wasn't a whole bunch of people, but I had a few likes, a few people who watched the video and commented on it, and I couldn't get enough. At that point, I'm like, wow, I feel energized to learn. And
Mm-hmm.
friend, I learned stuff about him that like I had not known, and I'd known him for years. And so I just started booking and get people on, and that's kind of where my like the live host part of Fizzy, of what I do, the Fizzbit, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
kind of unfolded. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, but that's, I know I kind of talked about my brand, but that's kind of like how my page got started.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's one and the same. You but you started it just documenting, your fitness journey, and it is crazy because, like you said, it may not have been a lot of people, but it was the right people.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's the thing about it. I don't look at it as, oh, I got to get all of these people, to watch. Yeah, I want people to watch the show, but I want the right people to watch the show. The people that is going to, going to impact. Even if it's just one person. If it's one person, then hey, that's good. I was able to help them do something they couldn't do before, and they can carry on to whatever.
Yeah,
Who's next?
that's so true, because I have met, even if it's like I say, two or three like reactions on a video, but I've met some of the most amazing people, some of my closest friends, like internet friends,
Mm-hmm.
through doing this, just through talking to people and just kind of sharing, you know, where I'm at. Because yes, I also, interview people and talk to people, but I also share, little bits of, I try to share little bits of who I am, because,
Mm-hmm.
you know, at the end of the day, like you said, I'm still, you know, a mother to a son with cystic fibrosis. I'm still a wife. I still have struggles that I go through, and,
Mm-hmm.
trials and triumphs. So, I definitely like to share my positive journey, but sometimes I might get on stories and just share something that might have really brought me down, that,
Right.
and I've had so many people, come to me and encourage me and give me that, you know, pick me up during
Mm-hmm.
those times. When my son was in a hospital, um, it's either, I think it was last year. Yeah, I think it was last year was the first time he was in the hospital. We had so many people reach out. Um, People sent cards, people sent care packages. I mean, people sent money. It was just like that sense of support system. These, you know, real connections with real people
Yeah.
were just being made, and it makes me realize, all over again, like how important, community,
Mm-hmm.
is, and how important, like you said, it is to, reach the people who are all kinds of people, but, people who are going to keep that chain, that flow going,
Mm-hmm.
that
Right.
positive flow that, that needs to impact. So yes.
Yes, just reaching reaching the right people, reaching who it needs to reach.
Yeah.
But so for your show, I mean, is there like people, any specific like people that are entrepreneurs, or just mostly entrepreneurs, or just all kind of people?
It's all kind of people that I have. Like, I don't have a strong niche, if you will. I interview people who inspire people, you know,
Hmm.
just like you do. Like, if you have an inspiring story to tell, if you're an entrepreneur, if you are, you could be an artist, or if you just have a different story, something different. I want to circulate positive stories. I want to
Right.
put people on the stage who need to tell their stories. So, I just always encourage people, if you have a story that you feel you want to share, and you
Right.
know, as long as it's inspirational, it's bringing joy, it's going to help someone in some kind of way. Like, I
Hmm.
want to talk to you because I feel like that's the way, we are going to, like, for me, that's my way of fixing the narrative, having these conversations.
Yes. Oh
Oh,
yeah. Being the change that we want to see.
100%.
Because I mean, it's easy to turn on the TV and see a bunch of negativity, or or even on depending on who you're associated with, even social media. A
Yeah,
lot of that is negative that's being um, put out there. But if you can make some positive, or share a little bit of positivity and with the world, and why not?
yeah. Yeah, and that's the way that I feel about it too. And just share, a real perspective, because a lot of
Mhm.
times people only really show what they want you to see. And if you only have in front of your eyes all the time what people want you to see, and you never get an opportunity to sit down and have real, raw conversations with people, then you'll never actually know that you connect with this person.
Right.
Just look at them, look at their page, and see they're perfectly aesthetic, well
All
got
right.
page, and you know all the right. And look, I love all of that stuff. I'm saying this with love, but if we don't have, if we're not putting the real out there and giving people a chance to have conversations,
Yeah.
we'll never know. The generations, after us will
Hmm.
not understand.
Right.
They won't understand what it's like to have a genuine, real conversation with real people with real problems, real victories. And so, that's kind of what I like to do. And, on top of the fact that I just love asking people questions, and I'm very interested in people's, in people's lives and their goals and their come up, and their
Yeah.
story. So,
Cool.
yes.
So and also, so you're still a brand ambassador, right?
So right now I'm not currently
Hmm.
I'm not like actively working with a brand, but I have done a few different projects with brands, just with different campaigns. Right now, my focus has actually all of the month of May has been to raise money for the Cystic Fibrosis
Yes.
Foundation. So a lot of my money, or a lot of my time and energy, has been directed towards that. So that's kind of been like what I've been, I guess my name has been associated with the most
Hmm.
as of late. But I've done like some fitness stuff, and different things like that, and I'm open to them. So
So how does that work? How has the experiences been for you? I mean, because I know that for people who never had the opportunity or may not even know what it is, um, talk about that a little bit.
okay, with the CF Foundation, kind of like that, or just like with working with different brands.
Well, just different band. Well, you can do because it is the month of May is cystic
Mhm.
fibrosis. So let's talk about that specifically because y'all should donate to the foundation.
Yes. Oh, and thank you so much again for your donation. I really, really, truly appreciate that. Um,
Yeah.
so yeah, with the CF Foundation, so my 4-year-old, his name's V. He has cystic fibrosis. He was born with it,
Hmm.
and it's one of those things that we like. I found out that I carried the gene when I was pregnant, but Like it's not something that Black people get, all the time. Like it's kind of a more, well, it's a rare disease, and
Hmm.
it's predominantly, it's more dominant in white people. So when my son was diagnosed with it, you know, I kind of felt like we needed to be open about it. We needed to talk about it because, especially in a Black culture, we don't like to talk about disease. We don't like to talk about, you know, having something and living with something.
Hmm.
And especially, a lot of times we don't like to talk about living with this disease that there's no cure for,
Right.
and having joy even while we're
Yep.
living with that. So I wanted to talk about CF. I wanted to advocate for it. And I just kind of started posting about that, alongside with everything else that I do, just sharing about it.
Yeah.
And, I started getting in contact with the CF community, um, and actually a couple weeks ago, I got contacted by the CF Foundation, and now um, I sit on the steering committee, um, chair for the CF, Foundation, and we are our goal is to help improve the issues with racial disparities
Hmm.
in the disease, with as far as getting newborns diagnosed in
Yeah.
a timely manner, because a lot of times, if kids are minorities are getting diagnosed very like late with CF, or not even at all, and it causes like a slew of issues.
Hmm.
They don't actually get diagnosed within a reasonable, time frame after birth. But
Right.
I know I didn't tell anybody what CF was. It is a genetic disorder that affects the way that water and salt move throughout the body, which causes issues with mucus. Uh,
Hmm.
it's just mucus in the entire body, but one of the main parts that it affects is the lungs.
Mm.
And so people with CF, they usually cough a lot, have a lot of issues with lung infections. They might need IV antibiotics in order to fight it off. They'll have digestive issues, issues with absorbing nutrients. So,
Mm.
malnutrition, all different kind of things. I mean, it's literally a disease that affects the entire body, and there is no cure for it.
Mm.
So, you
Yeah.
know, I want to use my voice and my platform, you know, to speak on, like, to not only share other people's stories, but to speak on my own life
Oh yeah.
stuff, stuff that I'm going through, stuff that my child and my family are going through. So, yeah.
Yeah, especially this because I mean, for people who don't know what it is, or even like you said, most minorities are diagnosed late, and it may be able to help somebody be like, okay, well, they have been kind of experiencing these,
Symptoms, yeah.
symptoms, so maybe they need, it could help somebody, help save a life. You never know. So I mean, I think it's great that you are advocate. Not just because especially because it hits close to home, but because people need to know,
Hmm.
especially in our communities, we need to know what things are,
Yes.
and not be like, don't think because it's not, or you don't think because it's not affecting your home, it's not affecting the community or maybe somebody else in your family. So I definitely think the education piece is something that's needed in our
Yes.
community. Um, a lot of different things that affects, or could affect us health wise. We don't always know about. So yeah. So congratulations on them. Contacting you to be, to sit on the board. So that's a great, accomplishment. in itself, because you get to do what you've been doing anyway.
True.
And
Thank
recognized, for it. So,
I'm really excited about that. I never would have imagined when I first kind of like went public with what he had and
mhm.
what we're dealing with, that I would have the opportunity to have such a platform and such an opportunity to use my voice. Because you think when you just post little things on social media, if you're not really um pursuing a brand, or I mean, even if you are like kind of starting to get more views and more follows, we a lot of times we don't realize who's watching,
Mhm.
and who we're touching and who might be connecting with what we're saying. I never in a million years would have imagined, having this kind of opportunity to
Yeah.
be a voice for this. I mean, talk about just deepening my purpose. I God has a way of doing things.
That is so true. Well, do you have, anything? Well, I know you're doing the fundraiser because this is for the month of May. Do you have anything that's upcoming, that you're going to be a part of, or maybe, the face of, or fundraising for?
Well, yes, and I'm not gonna say I'm not gonna say just yet, but I will say the month of June, because I did take a little hiatus from doing interviews.
Mhm.
Actually, the last couple of months, just getting prepared for the CF campaign. But I will say June is going to be really fun because um, I'm in the process of lining up the guest for the summer, to be on my show, and I have a really big guest that I'm really looking forward to having on, and it's going to be just in time for Father's Day. So
Oh.
um, definitely keep a lookout for that. So I'm excited about that.
So what days are you on? What time can they, tune in to find you on live, or when you normally come on? And starting from this show, what day will it be? Around what time?
So usually I go live on Thursdays, and it's usually at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now I have made some changes. I am still in the process of making some changes as far as times, because I will say, with having a 4-year-old and dealing with school and just like work
Live.
and schedules and stuff, I it's kind of put like a little bit of a roadblock on the normal times that I was going live. But for now, it's going to be Thursdays every other week, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Okay. Well, y'all be sure to, follow her page so y'all can, stay tuned to this big guest that's going to be on just in time for Father's Day. I'm going to be tuned in. I can't wait for that. Any last words you want to leave with the people?
I just want to, first of all, thank you again for having me on. And I just want to say, um, don't be afraid to document. If there's something that you want to share, you know, share it with the world, because somebody needs it. And
Mm.
I had a really nice reminder today from my beautiful friend, this queen right here, Shanrika, just reminded me that people need to hear what you have to say. The things that you have to say, they need to hear. They need to see your face. So keep showing up as yourself, and keep um, just being who you are. You don't have to be anybody else, because somebody out there needs it, and
Oh, yeah.
never know. So thank you again.
Yes, my pleasure. Be how you be.
Yeah,
That's what I say.
I
Be how
love
you
that.
be.
Be how you be.
Be how you
Somebody
be.
needs it. Somebody needs you, as you are. So
Exactly. But Queen, I so thank you. I'm so grateful for you, coming on, for sharing your awesomeness with us. Keep being awesome. I know you will. I look forward to what you have, coming in the future. So I'm following her pages. So I suggest y'all tap into her pages too, so you can stay abreast. But I'm going to put you in the back right quick and wrap it up, and I'll be right back with you. Okay?
Okay.
Thank you. All right, you awesome guys. Thank you again for joining us on What's Your Story, where we share, empower, heal, and inspire. I hope you've enjoyed my awesome guest for today. She's such a beautiful spirit. Be sure to tap into her social media pages and follow her. Support the Cystic Fibrosis Foundation. You could help save a life. Um, and it may be somebody you know. Uh, we don't wish that, but I'm just saying, just because you don't have it, don't mean you don't know nobody uh, that could have it. But we're here to bless you. We're blessed to be a blessing, so be a blessing to somebody. Okay. But thank y'all for joining us. I'll see you again next week. And again, my name is Shanrika. I'm your Global Empowerment Connector, and this has been What's Your Story. Take care.